In this video, I want to tell you how running has changed my life. Just over 2 years ago, I only dreamt of being able to go out and run for a few miles and enjoy myself. I always liked the idea of running, but it just never seemed to work for me. Back about 13 years ago, I tried to run consistently for a while, and it just ended up in injury. I had sore calves, shin splints, and it just wasn't an enjoyable experience, so I stopped. I tried to run again, and I had shin splints, and I kept taking cramps in my stomach and stitches, and I couldn't get rid of that. So any running experience I've ever had has been short-lived and not a very pleasant experience. I've tried to go to the gym over the years. I've spent loads of money on monthly memberships, going to PTs, and I've just never stuck to anything. I just ended up telling myself that fitness wasn't for me, and I just gave up. That, along with overeating, bad habits, left me in just really bad shape. I knew that I was unhealthy. Back in 2020, as the pandemic was in full force, I seen many people on their social media out running, cycling, fitness, doing challenges in the house. And for me, in May 2020, I decided that I would run every day for 3 months. The first day I went out, ran around the block near my house, and it was sore. I didn't get very far before I had to start walking, but I completed probably about 1.5 miles, and I was happy with myself, though I was really sore. The next day, I done the same thing, stopping at any hills, but I did complete another 1.5 or 2 mile run. The next day after that, which was the third day, I was very sore and still determined that I was going to do this challenge. I was going to run and get into shape and start feeling really good. About half a mile into that run, I took a really sore foot and ankle. I stopped at the first hill, walked a wee bit, then started running again, and the pain was worse. I stopped again and walked for another while. The next time I went off to run, the pain got so worse I just had to basically stop and limp home. My leg was so sore, and I just thought, running is not for me. Anytime I have ever started to run, it just has never worked out, so why even try? I gave up. I gave up, I really did. Gave up. That was my running career completely over. Go forward a few months, I seen a photograph of myself. I was nearly 90 kilograms in weight, and I just seen that picture of myself and thought, no, this is the time, I need to lose weight. So I did, but I just done it through diet. I lost a few kilograms over the next period of months, and then in January, after having a discussion with my wife, she just said to me, Stephen, maybe you're just going to have to run through the pain for a while. So that's exactly what I done. At the end of January 2021, I just went out, ran 5 kilometers, 3 miles, and I'd done that 3 times a week. Now, it was hard at the start. I didn't always run the whole time. I would maybe run for half a mile and walk for a few seconds and then run again. It was tough, but I completed those 3 miles 3 times a week, and I'd done that for a couple of months. And to be honest, it was pretty hard. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was not easy. It was hard. I was really pushing myself every time I went out running. The good thing is that after a couple of months, one time I came back into the house after a 5k run, and I just knew that my body could have went further that day. So I actually turned and went and done another 5k. I know there would have been a couple of walking stints in that, maybe stop for a rest every now and again, but I done 10k, and that was the start of me then running 10k 3 times a week. If I was busy or didn't have a lot of time, I would run a bit shorter that day, but in general for a number of months I ran 3 times a week up to 10k. My wife then bought me a marathon ticket, and that really spurred me on to run a wee bit further, so I just upped the mileage a wee bit at a time, not overdoing it, but over the next few months I was able to then run 8 miles, 10 miles, 12 miles, 14, and I think the longest run I had done before the marathon was 19 miles. So 9 months after I started running, I ran my first marathon. It was hard. I ran it in 4 hours 31 minutes. Done great to about 19 or 20 miles, and then the last six was just, well, if you run a marathon, you know what the last 6 miles like, but it was hard, and I did walk multiple times. I said I would never run another marathon in my life. This was it, all over. I think for the first time I took a week off, and then, maybe the next week after that I ran once or maybe twice, and it was always short miles. I was back to running 3 miles each time, a couple or three times a week. And that went on to around Christmas time, or December, where I started increasing my mileage again. And it was then I decided I'm going to do another marathon. I'm going to really push myself, and it would be my dream that I run a 4 hour marathon. I completed the first challenge, which was to run a marathon before I was the age of 40, but I decided I would run another one, and it was then that I got into training a bit more seriously. So it was around January 2022 I got into the training a wee bit more seriously. I'd been running for a year, and from then until now I have been running very consistently every week, 4 or 5 times a week. I've completed 3 marathons, multiple half marathons, loads of 10k races. My times are getting faster. I'm getting a faster runner in general. I feel stronger, fitter and healthier. As I said at the beginning, it was hard. The first few months were particularly tough. Getting out there was a struggle at times, but I'd done it. No longer was I the person who was always lazy, didn't want to get my foot out the door, didn't think I could ever be a runner. But there was one point, and I remember it quite vividly, that I was able to say to myself, I'm a runner. I am a runner. This is what I do. I love this. And this is what I'm going to continue doing. I want to get fitter. I want to get faster. I'm a runner. That was a good feeling. That was a very good feeling. That came from lots of hard work, pushing through barriers, boundaries, getting past certain mileages, sweat, loads of sweat. But I got to the stage where getting the running clothes on, strapping up the shoes and getting out the door wasn't such a challenge anymore. It was actually something I looked forward to. I looked forward to the benefit of running by myself around certain parts of my hometown that I'd never even been seen before. Running in trails, past lovely, beautiful scenery, running over hills, taking in fresh air, taking in the countryside. And it was just unbelievable what this done for my mental health. As I pushed through those boundaries, as my fitness increased, as the running volume increased, I noticed a lot of things about myself. And that was, I was able to push through mental barriers so much easier. Let me rephrase that. It was still hard, but knowing that you can get through something, pushing through really hard times on a run and marathon, it really helps you in other areas of your life that you maybe want to quit, but if you stick it out, if you do it consistently, that you will get better. Consistency is the key to so much in our lives. Running really taught me that. I used to think running would be boring, like being out there by yourself, doing nothing but putting one foot in front of the other. It just seems so boring, and so many people say that to me even now, like, how do you run? I couldn't run. Run seems so boring. It's really not. Running is so enjoyable. Whenever you get out there and you are used to the breathing, getting into a rhythm, it's just one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done in my life. And it's made me realise that, fitness doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be in a gym. You don't have to join a gym and spend loads of money. You can literally just strap up your trainers, go out for a run, enjoy the fresh air. Rain, hail or shine, you can do it. It's one of the most enjoyable things, and it's the best thing that I have done physically in my life and mentally. It has really, really changed my life. If you're thinking about going out for a run, I would just recommend it. If you haven't done it in a long time, now's the day. Today is the day. Get your trainers on, strap those laces up. Even if you have to walk for a while, even if you only do half a mile, whatever you do, just get out there, and it would be just amazing if it was able to change your life too. It's unreal where running will be able to take you. You'll be able to see new places, meet new friends, be happier. Running, getting that dopamine up is just unbelievable. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Get out there, get one foot in front of the other, just start doing it. You don't need to run fast, you don't need to break times, you don't need to race anyone, you don't need to even race against yourself. Just go out and start running. Run slow at the beginning, enjoy it, build up a bit of fitness, build up strength in your legs, just do it. So what's the purpose of this video? Well, I guess it's me saying to you, I once thought I could never do it. I once thought I could never be a runner, and I never thought that I would have the willpower to get out the door on a consistent basis. And I'm telling you now that I am a runner. I run 5 times a week. At the minute I'm running between 50 and 60 miles a week. I'm 2 years in. I've done 3 marathons, and if I can do it, you can do it. So get out there and just enjoy yourself. Get healthy, fit, just have a good time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. It would be very much appreciated. If you've had a similar experience to me, please leave that in the comments. If you have any questions or any thoughts, just leave it down there. This channel is me just covering my running, my day-to-day life, me as a photographer, everything that I do, and I just hope you've enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up and I'll talk to you soon.